decline in food inflation when compared to June due to reduction in prices of some food items like tubers, maize, gari, and vegetables. It said the highest increases recorded in the category includes prices of gas, liquid fuel, solid fuel, passenger transport by road, passenger transport by air, garments, cleaning, repair, and hire of clothing. A federal high court presided by Justice Binta Nyako has sentenced the notorious Taraba-based kidnapper, popularly known as Wadumi, to 7 years imprisonment without an option of fine. Wadumi was convicted by the trial judge for unlawfully dealing in prohibited firearms and for escaping from prison custody. The Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice had earlier brought the criminal prosecution before Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja. After the trial lasted for 3 years. Nyako convicted Wadumi on counts 2 and 10 of the 13-count charge brought against him and 6 others. Meanwhile, Justice Nyako on July 22, 2022, delivered judgment on other defendants in the charge, which are Aliyu Deje, a police inspector, Awali Bala, Bashir Waziri, Zubairu Abdullahi, and Rayanu Abdul. The details of court papers, which emerged on Sunday, August 14th, showed that the case of the prosecution team was upheld. One of the sporting arena, Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has lamented the poor state of the Nigeria Professional Football League, NPFL, saying his major concern would be to lead a league that is virile. Amasan Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Minister of Youth and Sport Development Sunday that the Nigeria Professional Football League calendar is twisted, regretting that the country is out of sync with the global standard. The Minister of Youth and Sport Development, Sunday Dare, noted that the Nigeria Professional Football League calendar is twisted, regretting that the country is out of sync with the global standards. He reaffirmed that once there is an irregular calendar, the league will tend to run into issues, also regretting the poor finances and poor club licensing of players, which affect the players of welfare from their various clubs. Similarly, the management of Heartland FC has taken its case to the Minister of Youth and Sport Development, Sunday Dare, in the ITO Cup crisis. In a statement, the club said it wants the minister to wait in and ensure that they are not unjustly made to go and replay the quarter-final match against Katsina United and lost on the field of play. In another update, two-time president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Maldi Pinnick, says he has not made up his mind to seek re-election for a third term as head of the country's football federation, adding that he will make his decision known this week. The world governing body FIFA council member, who is winding down his second term in office, reportedly seeking a third term in office ahead of the NFF elections in September. Meanwhile, Nigeria's under-20 women's national team, the Super Falconet, booked a place in the quarterfinals of the 10th FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup finals ongoing in Costa Rica. The team, led by Chris Njuma, recorded a 1-0 victory against South Korea in their second group game played last night. The Falconet started their tournament with a 1-0 win against European champions France. Moving on to Europe, Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel says referee Anthony Taylor should never officiate his team again. Tuchel was sent off along with the Tottenham Hotspur counterpart Antonio Conte after the final whistle following their second clash of the afternoon. However, Chelsea's boss was furious that Kai Havertz was not awarded a free kick in the build-up to Spurs' first goal. Christian Romero was also not punished in injury time for pulling Marco Corell's hair with VAR ruling out a red card. Chelsea fans have long claimed an agenda from Taylor against the team, following a string of decisions against them in previous games. In lawn tennis, Andy Murray has been selected for Great Britain's Davis Cup team, but rising star Jack Draper has missed out. The Scottish joins Cameron Norrie and world doubles #1 Joe Salisbury for the group stage of the competition in Glasgow next month. Muhammad Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com.
Amaka, yaya dai?
Sabuwar wayar Samsung Galaxy A72 ne nake son saya.
Samsung sun shirya garabasar musamman ga kowa da kowa a wannan watar. Za a samu rabuwar naira 25,000 a farashin wayar Galaxy A73 da kike matukar so. Kuma za a iya samun ragin a farashin wayoyin A53, A33, A23, A13, A03 da A03 Core. Me kike nema ne?
Ni na nufi shagon Samsung mafi kusa. Kar a banni a baya.
A hanzarta maza a je a samu wayar a amintattun shagunan Samsung mafi kusa. Ku ci moriyar garabasar Samsung Promo. Gasar na gudana ne daga 4 zuwa 31 na watan Yuli na 2022. A hanzarta kan hajjojin su kare.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Kano State House of Assembly will on Monday next week screen commissioners' nominees by the State Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji. The Speaker of the House, Engineer Hamisu Ibrahim Chideri, made this known today shortly after reading a letter sent to the House by Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduji.
Submission of names of nominees for clearance as commissioners and members of the State Electoral Council. Sequel to the existing vacancies in the State Electoral Council following the resignation of commissioners to contest for various posts in the 2023 general election, it is with humility and I write to inform the Right Honorable Speaker to note that it is imperative to fill the vacuum.
The nominees are Alhaji Ibrahim Dan Azimi Gwarzo, Abdul Halim Abdullahi Liman, Ya'u Abdullahi Nchana, Garba Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf Jibrin Rurum, Adamu Abdu Panda, and Saleh Kausani. Correspondent Awal Hassan Fagir reports that the new commissioners, when confirmed, will replace those that resigned to seek for elective posts. The Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, has reiterated its commitment in terms of producing standard products in the country. The Director General of the organization, Malam Farouk Isalim, made this known today during the commissioning of the agency Kano Regional Office, which comprises of a training center and laboratory of the organization, which is situated at Sheikh Khalifa Isiaka Rabi'u Housing Estate in Kano. The Director General said that the
for clearance as commissioners and members of the State Electoral Council. Sequel to the existing vacancies in the State Electoral Council.
We have some temporary structures that we are using for now. As a regional office, a part of our state office, we have 2 state offices. One of the state offices are accommodated here, and our training center also is accommodated here temporarily. So these buildings you're seeing, the ones behind you and the ones here behind me.
Similarly, the organization has also organized a one-day intensive training to the staff of the agency from northern states. Speaking to newsmen at the training venue, the SON Director General urged the participants to discharge their duties diligently.
Our employees have been employed for almost 3 years, but we found out that we have not been doing proper programs of orienting them to the organization, teaching them about what the organization stands for and what we do. So we decided it's never too 2020.
Correspondent Awal Hassan Fagir reports that the DG noted that the 78 participants of the training were employed 2 years ago. On business, we have Muhammad Abba Abdullahi with updates.
Nigeria's oil production slumped by 28 million barrels between January and July 2022, threatening the federal government's 9.37 trillion naira oil and gas revenue target by the end of the year. The federal government, in the 2023 to 2035 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper recently presented by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, blamed oil production short due to pipeline vandalism, crude oil theft, and high petrol subsidy costs. Most industry experts also attributed the decline to oil theft, which appears to have identified solutions. After boasting a high crude oil production figures of 1.399 million barrels per day in January 2022, Nigeria's production crashed to as low as 1.084 million barrels per day in July. Meanwhile, according to the data from both Debt Management Office (DMO) and the financial statement of the World Bank, the total debt owed the World Bank Group by Nigeria rose by $660 million in the first 6 months of 2022. The DMO stated that Nigeria's debt to the Washington-based bank was $12.38 as of December 31st, 2021. The financial statement of the World Bank for fiscal year 2022 showed that Nigeria owes the lending institutions $13.04 billion as of June 30th, 2022. Muhammad Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on history, on this day in 1960, the Republic of Congo gained her independence from France. Amina Mukhtariaka Say reports.
This is the National Day of the Congo and marks independence from France on this day in 1960. European contacts began when the Portugal explorer Captain Diogo Chau reached the Congo River in 1484. Wanting to ensure the Venetians or Ottomans didn't gain an advantage in establishing direct trade routes to the Orient, the Portuguese threw a lot of resources into making this part of West Central Africa a closing trade partner. After the Second World War, the various incarnations of the French Republic declared Congo increasingly close to statehood without the need for the country to be dragged into the bloodshed of a war for independence, as was the case in neighboring countries. In 1958, the Congolese voted for autonomy within the French community, and on August 15, 1960, Congo gained its independence with Fulbert Yolo becoming president. Meanwhile, on this day in 2002, gunmen killed Ahmed Pategi, Kwara State chairman of the People's Democratic Party and the senior official at President Olusegun Obasanjo ruling party, along with his police bodyguard. I'm Namutaya Cafe, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, in Kenya has announced that William Ruto has won the race to be the 5th president of the East African nation. The president-elect said after the announcement today that there are no losers and the people of Kenya have won because they raised the political bar. Chaos emerged just before the declaration when the Electoral Commission's vice chair and 3 other commissions told newsmen that they could not support the opaque nature of the final phase. This is the first time Mr. Ruto, who's age 55, had run for president. He has served as deputy president for 10 years, but fell out with President Uhuru Kenyatta, who backed Mr. Odinga, who is to succeed him. With this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa.